Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I'm going kind of stealing this idea from the lovely Ellen Catherine. I've mentioned before she's literally my favourite booktuber, and this is me going through every single book on my physical TBR. Now I've mentioned it quite a few times, I've got quite a lot of books as you can see, so I'm gonna go through them all and just basically, yeah, just fun easy video. So for the first ones, I'm just going to go through the ones that are on my TBR for the month of August. I'm doing really bad with my TBR for this month because I'm so behind on it, but yes, let's get started. I'm going to put a little bit of count on the screen here just so I can go through and count how many there actually is on this list, because I'm not 100% sure. So first up we have Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. Had this for a while, got it because of BookTok, and I'm going to be doing a buddy read of it with someone who I actually met through BookTube. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. Next up is Legacy of the Heirs by Laura Carter, the second book in the Lost Kingdom saga. This just came out and I can't wait to read this because, yeah, I've spoken about it so many times. I love this series and Laura is an amazing person and an amazing author. Next is Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. This is the third book in the Boys of Tommen series. I read the first two books I think last month or the month before. I think it might have been June, I'm not sure. I think it was July. I started this a little while ago. I'm only on page 28 though. I'm in a bit of a slump right now, but yeah, no advice. Next is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I started this series last year and I read the first 5 books last year and I've just got the last 2 books. The other one is here. This isn't on my TBR for August, but this is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. These are 2 more books that I need to get off my TBR because I want to finish this series before the end of this year. Next we have Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. I read Assassin's Blade in July. I really loved it and I want to definitely carry on with this series. And the last one from my August TBR is The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I'm not ready for this book to break my heart. Okay, now I'm just going to go shelf by shelf on my bookshelf. So from this first shelf here behind me, I'm just going to go down this one and then go through that one. Only 2 books off the first shelf. King of Wrath and King of Pride. These are the first 2 books in the Kings of Sin series by Anna Huang. I read basically all other series that Anna has put out. I read the If Love series and the Twisted series last year. So yeah, I want to get these ones read because then I'm slowly getting caught up on all of Anna's books once I've read this series. On the next shelf we have Crush by Tracy Wolff. This is the second book in the Crave series. I read Crave God knows how many years ago now. Still need to read this. I started it, read 90 pages, then stopped reading because I was in a slump when I started it, and also this book is so big so it kind of intimidates me. Next we have Things I Wanted to Say But Never Did and Promises We Meant to Keep by Monica Murphy. I don't know what this series is called, but I know A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime is in this series. That is book 2. I didn't realise it was book 2 in a series when I read it. I read it because of a quote on TikTok, and I read it on my Kindle, and then I realised there's these 2 books in the series that I am going to read eventually, but just not got around to it. Next we have The Lucky List by Rachel Lippincott. Had this on my shelf for a few years, but I do have a buddy read for this planned with Geordie. It's been planned for like over a year now. We will get to it eventually, but you know, we both just keep forgetting. Next ones are Icebreaker and Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I think this series is called the Maple Hill series, and yeah, I am looking forward to reading these because they're sports romances and they're spicy and they're my favourite kind of romance books. Then the last book on that shelf is Cross the Line by Simone Sultani. I only got this like a couple of months ago, so it's not been on my TBR that long, so I'm not really in any rush to read it. Following on to my next shelf, we have Things We Never Got Over and Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. Another BookTok ones that I bought just because BookTok said they were good. But yeah, no, they've been on my shelf for a while. I do need to kind of get to these soonish. Next we have A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. This is kind of like a Halloween-y fall kind of vibe, so I'm going to save this for like around Halloween time. I'm going to read it then because I am looking forward to this because it does sound really good. Next up we have Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I'm a bit iffy with Lauren Asher. I read Throttled, really liked that, but I DNF'd the fine print like 50 pages in because it annoyed me and I couldn't get past the first couple of chapters. Next we have Belladonna by Adeline Grace, another recent purchase. I heard a lot about this on Book Talk and apparently it's pretty good, and I'm kind of going into my fantasy era at the moment, so this is one that I am kind of looking forward to reading. Up next is Twisted Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Webber. I've had this on my thingy myself for a while. I got it mainly because the sprayed edges are really cute, but I'm a little skeptical about reading it just because I know it's YA. I'm not a big fan of YA, but I know a lot of people have said it is really good, so I am going to give it a shot eventually. Next up we have the entirety of the Grishaverse. Yes, I bought the entire series before I even read one of the books. Another Book Talk one that kind of, you know, got away from me a little bit. It's fine. Yeah, I will read this eventually. Next we have The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. This is out of my comfort zone because this is a thriller. I've never read a thriller before, but I wanted to give one a try, so I got this one from the works a little while ago. Then the final one for this shelf is The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. This is another autumnal read, witchy vibes. I'm probably going to read this in like October, like I am with A Witch's Guide to Fate Dating a Demon, just because it gives that kind of season's vibes. Next up we have The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I've had this on my TBR a couple of times and I've sold it a couple of times. I'm a bit skeptical about reading it, but I've heard it is really good, so I do want to give it a try. Next is Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmer. Been on my TBR for ages, don't even know what it's about, and I don't know when I'm going to read it. Next we have Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This is actually a book club pick for a book club I'm in, so I will be reading this soon, and I'm looking forward to it because everyone has said it's an amazing book. Next we have Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. This is a sapphic romance. I think it's set in like the 1950s. I read another book by this author and I did quite enjoy it. I think I gave it like a 4-star. That was A Scatter of Light. I read it last year, so I'm hoping I like this one just as much. Next is The Hunting Moon by Susan Dennard. This is actually the second book in a series. I need to buy book 1, but this one was book fairy to me. So yeah, I need to buy book 1 so I can then read this series, but I really want to read it because it seems so intriguing. Next up we have Signs of Cupidity by Raven Kennedy. I picked this up not long ago. I got this in May when I went to Comic-Con with Geordie and Em. And yeah, no, it looks really good. It's like I think it's like a fantasy romance, and those are my kind of books at the moment. Next is The Intimacy Experiment by Rosie Danan. This is a kind of like connected book to The Roommate, which I read in 2022. I love that book and I do really want to read this one because it does seem really good as well, and it's following a character who I really liked from The Roommate. Next up we have Old Flames and New Fortunes by Sarah Hogle. This is one I literally bought 2 days ago. I went into the works, saw the 3 for 6. Saw this, I've seen people read it, looked good, I wanted to read it. Next is another one I got on Monday, which is called Acute Reactions. This is by Ruby Lang. I got this for myself, and then I got a copy of this for Geordie as well for her birthday, because I sent her birthday presents to her on Monday, and I've asked her to do a buddy read of this with me. Next we have For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. I think this is like a Little Red Riding Hood retelling. I've had it on my shelf for so long, and I've been meaning to read it, but I just haven't done it yet, and I don't know why. I just never seem to gravitate towards it, but I know it's one that I do want to read, so I'm not sure why I'm doing that. Next we have Love Like Farms by B.K. Borison. Heard so many good things about this, but I'm saving it for Christmas because it's a Christmassy kind of vibe book, and I want to try and start doing like seasonal reads, so that's why I've also got my couple of ones that are for like August and stuff. I'm in October, not August. Next one is Mile High by Liz Tomford. Heard so many good things about this, and I really want to read it because I think it's a sports romance and I'm addicted to them, so. Next we have The 7 Years Slip by Ashley Poston. Heard so many good things about this. I know Alan loves this because she's read it, and it's one of her favourite books, and I'm going to be incorporating this into a video very soon, so I will be reading it probably in September. Next up we have Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young. Another one that I got in the 3 for 6 from the works. It sounded good, and it has a cute cartoon cover, so how could I not buy it? Next we have A Wish for Us by Tilly Cole. This one I got because of Em. She was reading it on call one day and it made her cry, and I trust her recommendations, and I kind of like books that make me cry. Not that I don't already cry enough in my own personal life, but you know, wanted a book to make me do it. Next we have From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. I'm terrified to read this because since I bought this I found out that Mariana Zapata is known as the Queen of Slow Burn, and I hate slow burn romances. It's my least favourite trope. So, wish me luck when I actually get to this book. Up next we have the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. This was actually gifted to me by a lovely friend. Jess, thank you for this. I can't wait to read this series. And yeah, I can't wait to read this because I love Cassandra Clare's works. I read the entire Shadowhunter series, and I actually met Dominic Sherwood and Matthew Daddario, if you saw my Comic-Con vlogs, and they were in the Shadowhunter TV show and I love them. Now I know these covers don't match, I'm getting some different ones soon, it's just I bought these all like second hand. But next is the Dark Artifice series by Cassandra Clare as well. I want to read this. I basically want to read her entire Shadowhunters universe just because it's a series that I fell in love with a long time ago. I've loved it since high school. Up next we have All That's Left in the World by Eric J. Brown. I can't remember why I bought this. I've had it for a good few years now, I think since 2020. Don't know where I'm going to read it. We'll find out. Next we have The Fault in Our Stars and Looking for Alaska by John Green. I got these because I know Geordie loves these books and I want to read more books that she loves, so why not? So now these are my TBR. I got these from the charity shop actually. They're in really good condition and they're only like £1 each. Next we have Underneath the Sycamore Tree by B. Celeste. I don't know what this is about. Can't remember why I bought it, but the cover's cute. Next we have The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. I'm going to save this one again for October time, for Halloweeny, just because it's that kind of vibe of a book. And my mum's read this and she really loved it. She gave it 5 stars. And this is not normally a kind of book she reads. She's normally very much into thriller books, but she really loved this one. And I want to give it a go because I've heard a lot of people have loved this book too. The remainder of the books for this shelf is my Colleen Hoover collection. So we have Never Never, November 9th and Ugly Love. I have read for quite a few of Colleen Hoover's books now and I normally tend to love them. I normally give them 5 stars. So I'm looking forward to reading these. But I know her books tend to be quite emotional books to read, so I put them off as long as I can. Moving on to my second bookshelf, we have basically the entire Throne of Glass series. So obviously I said I have Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight in my August TBR. So I still have Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash that I need to read. But I'm really looking forward to it because I read, like I said, I read Assassin's Blade and I absolutely adored it. So, and I loved the ACOTAR series, which I read earlier this year. Next, now onto my hardback shelf, I have This Woven Kingdom by Tahira Mafi. I read some of the Shatter Me series, but I kind of got over that series. I got bored after the 3rd book. Had this for a while, heard it's good, and I want to read more fantasy, and this is a fantasy book, so I am looking forward to reading this one. I've just, like I said, not had a chance yet. I have so many books and hardly any time. Well, so no, that's a lie. I have plenty of time to read. I just procrastinate by watching TV instead. Next we have The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare. This is, I think, a story that follows Magnus and Alec, and they are my favourite couple in the Shadowhunter series. Only reason this isn't with my other Cassandra Clare books is because I want to keep my hardbacks together, and this is a hardback edition that I got. It was like a special anniversary edition I got from Waterstones years and years ago. I think I got this when this book came out, which I think was like in 2016. Next we have Believe by Leanne Pinnock. I asked my mum to get this as soon as I saw that it had come out. I am obsessed with Little Mix. I have loved them for years, and I actually went to the Little Mix concert with my mum in 2022. It was one of their last shows before the group obviously broke up and they've gone off to do their own music careers. Next is Tom Felton's Beyond the Wand. I got this because I am obsessed with Harry Potter, if you couldn't tell. It's so hard to tell that I'm obsessed with Harry Potter. Draco Malfoy is one of my favourite characters from the movies and the books actually. So yeah, and I love Tom Felton as well. So this is kind of a guaranteed buy. Next is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. I am probably pronouncing that so wrong. I'm really bad at pronouncing names. But this is another, like I said, another one that I'm going to be reading later in the year when it gets to more autumn time, just because it's a witchy vibe and I want to read those around Halloween. Next one we have is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is the hardback special edition from Waterstones. I got this a while ago. I've heard this is really good, and Chloe, who runs Dumb Blonde Club, said that I should listen to the audiobook of this when I read it because apparently it's really, really good. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, I've only read one other Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and I quite enjoyed that. I gave it 5 stars. It was Daisy Jones and the Six, which was in my video reading books recommended to me by my friends. Next up we have I Kiss Sahara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. I've had this since it came out. I think this is literally this is a signed edition. I pre-ordered this. I think this came out not long after I'd read Red, White and Royal Blue, and I really loved that. So I was like, I want to read more of her books. But I DNF'd one last stop after like 2 chapters because it was annoying me. So I don't know when and if I'm ever going to get to reading this, but it can stay on my TBR for a little longer. And then the final hardback book that I have yet to read is... Oh no, actually I've got one more hardback book after this one. But I've got Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I read Fourth Wing last year, absolutely loved it, gave it 5 stars. So I'm looking forward to reading this, but I do want to reread Fourth Wing first, just because I read it quite a while ago now. And I also want to kind of read this closer to when the 3rd book comes out, so I don't have too long to wait. Now for the actual final hardback, I have The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. I thought this was cute, and it's witch vibe, and I like witches. Some of my favourite TV shows are witch TV shows, like Charmed. Another one, saw on BookTok, thought I'd give it a read, but it's another one that I am going to be saving for towards Halloweeny time, just because it's that kind of book. Okay, we're off the hardbacks now. I've not got any more hard... Oh no, I do have a couple more hardback books, I lie, but they're on a different shelf lower down. It's fine. Next up we have The Goal and the Legacy by Al Kennedy. I've read the first 4 books in the Off-Campus series, loved them. I gave the first 3 books in the Off-Campus series. I gave the first 2 5 stars and the 3rd one a 4 star, but I'm thinking of upping my rating to a 5 star because I can't stop thinking about that book. So I also enjoyed something about it. Then I also have the entirety of the Briar You series. After I read The Goal, I'm going to read these and then go back for the Legacy, just because there's kind of like these couples from these books that are in the Legacy as well, so I want to read that after. Then next is The Graham Effect by Al Kennedy as well. I know this is the spin-off series to like the Off-Campus series and stuff. I think this follows Hannah and Garrett's kid, so yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this just because I loved Hannah and Garrett as a couple. And then to round off my Al Kennedy collection, we have Misfit and Rogue. No idea what these are about. Just saw them in the works, so they were Al Kennedy, and I bought them. And I like Al Kennedy's writing. It's easy and fun to read, so yeah, those are on my TBR. Next up we have this series by Grace Riley. God knows what the series is called, but it has First Down, Breakaway and Stealing Home. These are all sports romances, and yeah, do I need to say anything else? I got these from the works because they were cheap. Following on from them, another sports romance, Redeeming Six by Chloe Walsh. This is the 4th book in the Boys of Tommen series. Still need to buy Taming Seven, I just haven't had the chance yet. I'll probably get it in a couple of months, just because I'm going to save some money because my birthday's in December and I want to buy myself a massive book haul. The final one for this shelf is Bloodstream by Emily Carter. Race car driver, romance book, cute cartoon cover. Now the next 3 are actually the remainder of my hardback books. We have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Saw it in the charity shop. I've heard it's pretty good. It was only £1.50, so I thought, why not buy it? Next is The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. My mum originally bought this book, but she didn't like it. She DNF'd it. So I said, could I have it to give it a read, see if I like it? Like I said, I'm not real. My main genres are fantasy and romance, mainly romance to be honest. So this is really out of my comfort zone, but I wanted to give it a go because I've heard Holly Jackson is a pretty decent author. Then the final one is Lives We Sing to the Sea by Sarah Underwood. Sprayed edge signed edition that I got from Waterstones. I think I paid like 20 quid for this, to be completely honest. So I need to read it. Actually, no, it was 15 quid, but still, it was expensive. Next we have, can't remember what this series is called to be honest, but it's the Elsie Silver cowboy book. So we have Flawless, Heartless, Powerless, Reckless and Hopeless. I will start these eventually. I feel like I'm so behind the curve because everyone's already read these and I will read them eventually. It's just, you know, it takes me a while to pick up a book, okay? Another one out of my comfort zone, Suddenly a Murder by Lauren Munzo. It was a short, quick thriller that I got from the works for like £3 and it sounded pretty good when I read the blurb of it, so I'll give it a go. After that we have My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. I've never read a Tessa Bailey book. And I've heard mixed reviews about her, but my mum read this and she quite enjoyed it, so I'll give it a go. And for another one that my mum's read that I haven't read is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. I do have plans to read this, but I've heard so many mixed reviews, I'm kind of putting it off. This one was another one that was influenced by Ellen. This is the Vancouver Storm series. We have Behind the Net and The Fake Out. These were in the works for £4 each, and I could not resist buying them because they're hockey romances, and I kind of love hockey romances. So, you know. And also they were £4 each, there's a bargain, I had to get them. With cute cartoon covers, are you kidding me? Another works purchase, Collided by Bal Cabra, I think. I don't know. I'm sorry, the lighting is so bad. The sun is setting and I don't have any better lighting in my room, but we'll just have to deal with it. But yeah, no, cute cover, sports romance, cute sprayed edges, had to get. Then we have Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. I got this because I've heard loads of people talk about it, say it's great. It does have the illustrated drawings in here, like everyone said online. And yeah, no, I just wanted to give it a go. It's my kind of book. I love, I think these are mafia romances and I love mafia romance. Next is The Second Chance Year by Melissa Wisner. This book was gifted to me by my lovely friend Lex. I read one of Melissa Wisner's books last year. It was an arc of one of her books. I really enjoyed it and I really liked her writing style, so I do want to get onto this at some point soon. Next is Two Wrongs Make a Right by Chloe Leese. It was a works 3 for £6 deal. Just got it. Then we have My Dot Romeo by Parker S. Huntington and LJ Shen. I've had a lot of people talk about this and it's been on Book Talk and I know a lot of people like it, so I thought I'd give it a try. Also, I kind of love the cover. The next two I bought at the same time that I got Two Wrongs Make a Right. I got these in the 3 for £6. We have Filthy Rich Vampire by Geneva Lee and also The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. Read the blurbs, sounded good, got added to my TBR. And I only bought them this year, so I'm not in too much of a rush to read them. Okay, we're on to the final shelf. Next up we have Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I started this ages ago. I read the first few chapters, never finished it. I do plan to, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Next is The Dead Romantics, which is another Ashley Poston book. I did not realise I owned 2 books by this author. Book Talk. Next is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This was a gift from my lovely, amazing friend Lauren. Lauren, if you see this, I miss you. She moved to Australia a couple of years back now, but before she went we exchanged Christmas gifts and this is one of the things she got me and I am really looking forward to reading it. Next is A Far Wilder Magic by Alison Saft. Kate's books recommended. I bought it. I'll start doing 2 at a time now because there's not many left. So we have Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, another Book Talk one, and then Vampire Diaries, The Awakening and The Struggle by LJ Smith. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with the Vampire Diaries and I want to read the book series. I know the book series is very different, but I want to see how many differences there is. Next we have Never Forget You by Fiona Lucas and also Hex Appeal by Kate Johnson. This one is another one that I'm going to read around Halloween time, and then this one, I think it sounded interesting when I bought it. I don't remember what it's about now, but it has a cute cover. Next we have Pretty Little Liars by Sarah Shepherd and then 1,000 Broken Pieces by Tilly Cole. This is because I love the TV show and I want to read the books. I've had this for ages though. I think I got this off Music Magpie like a good 4 or 5 years ago now. And then 1,000 Broken Pieces is the second book in the A Thousand Boy Kisses. I read that earlier this year, absolutely loved it, gave it 5 stars, made me cry. So I have to read the second one because I want to know what happens next. Next we have The Hunger Games series by Susan Collins. I watched The Hunger Games movies but I've never read the books, and my brother's fiance didn't want these anymore, so she asked if I wanted them because she knows I love to read, and I said yeah, why not. And yeah, I want to read these eventually, I just haven't had a chance yet. Next, well, 2 in a series. I don't know what order they go in, all I know is that they're in a series. We have The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels and The League of Gentlewoman Witches. Got these from the works. I liked the covers and I want to read kind of like, I think these are more like period Regency kind of books, because this one says Bridgerton meets Peaky Blinders. So yeah, I want to give these a go. These are by India Holton. Okay, final 2 books. First up we have Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. I actually followed the TikToker who wrote this book. I followed her series when she was filming it, and I really loved it, so I obviously wanted to get the book to read it. And then the next one is I Loved You in Another Life by David Arnold. Saw it in the works, it was £3, sounded good, gonna read it. So that is it for the video. That is every single book on my physical TBR. I'm not going through the books that are on my Kindle because that will just take the number way too high and that will depress me. But yeah, no, the number of how many books are on it will be up here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you've got any of these books on your TBR, and if you've already read them and what you think. But yeah, no, that's it. I'll catch you next time.